This morning I woke up and started my day as I always do. I brewed a cup of coffee and sat down to admire the beauty of my Talaria XXX. But something about this morning was feeling different than other mornings. When I hopped on my bike, the first thing I noticed is it felt like something was missing.
Where's my foot supposed to go? Where do I put my foot?
I can fix that.
Well guys, thanks to the great people over at AstroWorks and EmotoWorks, I've got a foot lock set up, a shift lock for the XXX that we are going to install today. Now a huge shout out to William, the owner of AstroWorks, for sending this out. I'm gonna leave his handle on screen here, so make sure you go follow him on his personal account and on his business account. But let's do this. So here is the full kit laid out. For each side, you're going to have a bracket, a smaller but taller spacer, a thinner, wider spacer, the peg itself, and a long bolt that we'll remove from the peg as well. The parts are exactly the same for each side, so it doesn't matter which side you install it on, as long as you set it up correctly. So here we are on the right side of the Talaria XXX. First step in this install will just be unscrewing these bolts here for the foot peg bracket, and that's where we'll get started. Guys, you can also use all of the stock tools that came with the bike to assemble the bike to do this install, so you don't have to worry about having any super special tools. All right guys, so we are now ready to put the foot peg and the shift lock on. The way this should look is you will take this small pancake washer, so this is the flatter one that's a little bit wider, and put it on the back bolt. And then on the front, you will take this bracket and slide it in, and we'll mount it directly back into the bike. Okay, great. With this front bolt removed, we will take the bolt that is in the peg and remove it. Then we will take the taller, thinner spacer and place it right here, and use this longer bolt that was attached to the peg to screw back into the bike. So with the foot peg and bracket all back installed, we will take the bolt that was originally here, slide it through, and it will thread directly into the peg. So just to show you the final setup here again, we have the back pancake spacer placed here. We have no spacer placed here. You just put that bolt back in. Then we have the whole bracket, and we have the taller spacer right behind here. We reuse the bolt that was here to install the peg itself, and then we use the bolt that was installed in the peg, that came installed in the peg, to put here. It's a longer bolt so it can reach with the spacer, and this is the full setup. All right, onto the left side of the bike here. This is generally the same process with just one small difference, and that being that there is a kickstand sensor here, so I think we just have to be wary of that. Be gentle, not to mess that up, but I guess let's just start taking it off. Okay, let's just try to keep this thing on, and we'll slide the bracket and spacer in without moving anything. And just like that, they are done and on. Let's get a closer look at these things. Now, some of you are probably watching this video asking, what is the point of a shift lock? What is it for? Why are you installing this? Well, let me tell you, except I'll actually show you on the bike.
Alright guys, so we are outside on the bike. As you can tell, we have the foot locks on, the shift locks if you will. It looks so dang good. So what we have to do now is practice our wheelies, see if it helps. Now, for those of you that aren't aware, the purpose of a shift lock is essentially to better secure yourself to the bike. So this makes everything more secure when you're doing a wheelie because it takes a little bit of the tension off of your hands trying to hold on to the bike and the bars. It also helps a lot if you're doing any sort of one-hander. So if you're doing a brake one-hander where you take this off while you're wheeling, or a throttle one-hander that you take it off, it helps secure you to the bike. When you only have one hand on the bars, it's a little bit sketchy. Now, if I were to ever get a foot brake on this and do no handers, you obviously need something to hold you on. The purpose of the shift lock is to get you secured. Now, some people, if they don't have them, they'll just kind of like hook their feet under this. But ever since I put a foot lock on the Razor, I've been a big fan of it. So, time to test out how this works. All right, let's try a wheelie with the foot locks. I guess we can lock both of our feet. Woo! Oh my goodness, it is windy. Woo! These feel pretty dang good. Now these are all like CNC machined, I believe, so they're super high quality. They look really good on the bike. If you have the red XXX, you can also get this in the same powder coated red color, which is pretty dope. I have the black, so I obviously went with the black. Oh yeah, we're feeling super locked in now. Guys, this helps a lot too because the stock seat on the Talaria XXX is a little bit slippery. So when you're up at balance point too, or past balance point, it's easy to slide back. So this helps secure you in because you're just locking your foot in here and it's holding your whole body up. Guys, now if you're interested in purchasing these, they currently are sold on eMotoWorks. So I'll leave a link to them in the description. AstroWorks is the actual one who makes the product. And again, shout out AstroWorks for sending this over so I could install and review. I'm loving it so far. Guys, it's weird because I never would really expect something like a footlock to make a huge difference in how you ride and how you wheelie, but it's one of those things that, like, I don't know, I put it on the Razor and I realized, wow, this has a big effect on the wheelies and it just can help you improve. It just helps a lot. It's weird because it secures your body, you feel more confident, and I don't know, I think it also helps with fatigue. You don't get quite as much arm pump because you're not holding onto the bars as hard. See, look at this, we're circling, no problem. Look at that. Woohoo! Feeling good now, boys. But yeah, guys, like I mentioned, I'm gonna link down in the description all the parts for this footlock install. I am digging it so far, I have to say. One-hander's coming back. Stoppies. Until you wheelie with a shift lock, you won't really know, but once you try it, it's kind of hard to not have one because it just feels so good. It locks you in, and I definitely recommend it if you're trying to up your wheelie game. You're trying to do, you know, throttle one-handers, brake one-handers, hand drags, all that jazz. Woo! I highly recommend it then. There we go. Woo! I thought we were gonna keep it up all the way through, but we failed. I'm sorry. Well, guys, I'm gonna go home before I get wrecked by this wind. But As always, thank you so much for watching this video. Shout out to William over at AstroWorks and EmotoWorks for sending this out to me. I'm a huge fan. I highly recommend it. If you have any questions, leave them down below in the description. I'll leave links to everything, my Patreon, my merch. Otherwise, guys, I'll catch you next time. Peace.